So this is my new Aipas F3 Max with an alleged range of about 60 miles. I bought this bike mostly for the desert. 7 speeds. I love these mag wheels, no spokes, hydraulic brakes. Depending on where you're reading, it's anywhere between 1500 and 1800 watt motor on the rear end. Has a rear rack, lights, horn. And it's a very nice bike. I've already replaced the seat. The stock seat is crap. The stock pedals are not too good. My feet slip off of them, but they work. I use this bike to ride in the desert. I have another bike that I run around here on the street. I've already moved it up to a level 3 type bike. And it'll run around 30 miles an hour with a throttle assist. One of the reasons why I bought this is it does have a throttle assist, and I can use it when I get in pretty bad spots in the desert. I can use it like a motorcycle throttle if I want to. I generally don't. I like to pedal. The bike was bought for exercise. These fat tires work really well. They soak up the bumps pretty well, and I run them around 20 pounds of pressure. The suspension works reasonably well. It's not great, but it does help a lot in the desert, and it does do a good job toward cushioning the ride. All right, so we're going to take a little ride now. We're going to see how it does. All right, just to give you an idea how this thing does in the streets. So, right about a half a mile here before I get to the desert. These are choppy streets, and you can see the bike. It rides reasonably well. The suspension does a good job. Uh, it 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 does well on these streets. It does well in the desert. I'm pretty pleased with the suspension. I've got a 250 dirt bike that I ride, and this thing does almost as well in the desert as a dirt bike. So in a minute here, we're going to get into the off-road part of this test. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to climb up a small hill with a lot of rock. And one thing that does impress me about this bicycle is that it runs over rock really well. In the desert, you get a lot of stones, big stones, and trails with a lot of rock on them. And it just handles the rock. The soft tires, I run them about 20 psi, and there's just no issues running with rock. The narrower tires on my Cannondale 2.5 inch, they don't do so well. Not to say that they're bad, but they're not near as good. Okay, this trail, if you're looking at the video, looks pretty smooth, but it has a lot of imperfections, a lot of little chatter bumps, and a lot of deep bumps that you don't really see. In a minute, we're going to run up on a flat concrete piece to just see how it does on that. Some of this right through here is sand. And this bicycle does relatively well at sand. You got to keep it going straight. Try not to move the wheel because the 20-inch wheels respond a lot faster than the 26-inch wheel. But you keep it going straight and use lower gears and pedal and put it on about level 3 assist and away you go. Okay, we're going to come up to a crossing road here. A couple of square bumps right down, not too bad. We're going to go right back up over here, and I'm not going to jump it. I'm just going to ride it up. There we go. No sweat. Not bad. All right, we're coming up on a little rougher section here. There's some sand and some dips and some bumps, and maybe you can see them in the video, maybe you can't. But you'll notice that I just go through them without any problem whatsoever. And again, the suspension works good. Coming up on a couple little ruts here and a couple sandy places, and as I've said, as long as you keep the wheel steady, here's some sand. You're good to go. It goes right through. Keep control. You can use a little bit of throttle assist if you want. When I know I'm coming into a bad area, I generally go down a couple of gears and put it on a level 3 assist and just kind of walk it through. Um, I try to pedal through these things all the time. I try not to use assist unless I absolutely need it. All right, running along here, level 2. Going, somewhere between 13 and 16 mile an hour. Just really enjoying the ride. Uh, it's it's uh, it's May in Arizona, and it's absolutely beautiful out here in the morning. It's nice and cool, and it's a beautiful time to go for a ride. This area right here is relatively smooth, but we will get into some rougher stuff. And I'm not here to ride this thing like a motocross racer. I'm here to have fun and to get exercise. Okay, we're going through a little dip here, a little sand wash full of soft sand. You got to kind of ease through these right here. On the way up, might touch the power a little bit. Not really necessary. Keep it moving and you're good to go. Coming up here in a little wash with some rocks. We're going to ease through here, see how this thing does. Good. No problems. Just keep going and enjoying the morning here. Uh, this bike is very, very, very pleasant to ride on a mile trail like this. What I consider a mile trail, some people might consider this a little tough, but I think it's pretty easy. Coming up on a little sandy area here. This is soft sand right here. You got to be careful with this. Again, I'm pedaling, just staying on top of it, trying to keep the bike moving. I don't want to go too fast. I just want to get through it without a problem. All right, so for the heck of it here, I'm going to run off in the road and run through these rocks, just to give you an idea of how well this thing does the rocks. I'm very impressed. The tires soak up the rocks and you keep control. They don't bounce around like they do on a bike with narrow tires. I have a few of those and they're not quite as much fun. This is a soft sand area here. I mean, it's soft. And, keep the bike moving at a reasonable speed. Try not to do anything stupid, and you're fine. All right, a little bit more hard stuff here. Soft sand, little rut, little desert washout. These are every quarter mile in the desert. Anytime you have rain, it comes down off of those mountains and just creates small washes everywhere. Uh, Riding around now, 15 mile an hour, relatively mild trail. Just taking my time, enjoying the day. Coming up on a couple of dips here. We're passing a little desert watering hole that they use to water the cattle year round. Um, that's right there in front of me where you see that green. And the trail's going to get kind of rough up here. There's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of rocks, and etc. Enjoy it. And again, the bike does well in these conditions. You see all the green right there. That's where the basically a desert watering hole is. And there's several of them out here in the desert that they use to water the cattle year round. And there are cattle out here on the range. And every now and again you run into them. And every once in a while you see a very, very big bull that you want to stay away from. They're nothing to mess with. They're basically wild animals. They have to be herded up. And there's quite a few. Every morning I'm out here, I see quail. I've seen several so far. And a few pigeons and doves, or doves and pigeons, and a few sparrows. Some more rough stuff here. And getting into some rocks now. I'm just going to run across the rocks just to show you how well the bike does in rocks. It's not even a problem. It looks a lot rougher than it is. The bike does a good chance or a good job of smoothing these rocks out. Getting a little bit more rocky terrain here. And, it's fuzzing the camera up, but the bike is running pretty smooth and taking these rocks very well. And this is impressive. I told you I have a dirt bike that I run out here, and the suspension on this bicycle goes pretty good. We're in just soft sand here again, and we're going to go through a whole bunch more ruts and a whole bunch more rocks, and by the end of the day, we're going to have had a pretty good ride here. Getting into a little bit more rough terrain here. A few ups and downs, sand washes, uphills, and etc. Just keep the bike moving, rocks. Uh, and I like to take my choice. Sometimes I like to take the rocks and just feel how the bike is going to do. Sometimes I take the easy trails back downhill, no problem. Sometimes I just want to test the bike and the suspension and the tires and myself as much as possible. I enjoy all of it. And as you can see from the video, the bike soaks up this stuff pretty well. This is not a smooth road. And these rocks are vicious and could cause problems to a little 2.5-inch tire. So if you want my feelings for this Aipas F3 Max, I would say it's a very good bike. Very good price. And you're not going to find a better bike for the price. Suspension works well. Tires work well. Love the magnesium wheels. Has very good power. Costs $939 delivered to me. I assembled it myself. It has a lot of features that you're going to pay a lot of money for with other brands. Overall, very happy. I don't think you're going to find a better buy anywhere. Battery could last longer, but I run in some pretty rough terrain, and you're not going to have a battery that goes 60 miles in this stuff. So overall, very happy with the bike, and hope you have the opportunity to buy one.